Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
I'm Mac.
And today we're doing another game in our Games We Champion list of videos.
Yeah.
You can check out ones we've already done in a link below. But today we are doing Lanterns, the Harvest Festival.
Yeah, and so really we're just talking about games that aren't in the top 500 of BGG, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of saying why we think they deserve a little bit more respect than where they're currently placed.
Games that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
And don't know if new gamers are looking at games to play, if they'll go further down the list than the first 5 pages if you're sorting by 100 at a time. So, we went to this one. This one is actually ranked 876.
Get
so
out.
It's almost not even
Are
the top 1,000.
Are you serious? That's even lower than the other, or high. It's way higher than the last one. I'm
the
shocked.
Downfall of Pompeii. Yep.
I can't believe this is higher.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it had a rating of 6.9.
Out of 10?
Once it gets under 7, it starts getting scary.
Oh my gosh.
And the designer of this one, I believe, is Christopher Chung. Christopher Chung. And I looked to see the other games that he's designed, and I didn't recognize any of them. There were a few other ones, but there was nothing that we've had or have ever played, so not really anything I can recommend based off of.
Sure.
But otherwise, this game has...
Not Lanterns Dice?
I don't think so. I don't think I was in there, so it must have been someone else. But yeah, the mechanisms in this game are tile placement, set collection, pattern building, and hand management, in a way. Which kind of goes with the set collection. They're kind of hand in hand management. Wow.
Good job.
But yes, this was actually a game we got pretty early on in our gaming career. I think there was an episode of Will Wheaton's Tabletop, and that's what made me interested in getting it, just because it seemed like a very quick, snappy game, and pretty simple.
And it was one that I was, because, we went from, Catan and Ticket to Ride to, Stone Age, and then all of a sudden Zach was bringing in, games like Dead of Winter and Photosynthesis and,
kind of going back the other way.
Some of these weird, and then he was like, here, let's play this, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. So I feel like this one is, one of my, gateway games that, got me more into it, because I was, not interested after we played or saw you play some of those games. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I don't know that I want to try it. So this one, though, was a good one that you picked. So.
And you'd probably be the one that champions this game, but I really enjoy it quite a bit as well. I don't remember if it made my top 50 last year, but I think if it didn't, it was right on the edge. And it made it quite a bit higher in your listing. But you guys will have to go maybe check out our top 10 games of all time from last year. Check out that video to see where it ranks for her.
Yeah, plug.
But I guess what makes you champion this game versus any other tile placement and set collection games? What makes us stick out?
Well, I think there's a lot of nostalgia with this game, as we just discussed. It was one of our first ones that we brought into the collection. The other pieces, too, we've had it for a while. We started building our collection. It probably didn't get a lot of plays, maybe a couple of times a year. And then in 2020, we did a 10 by 10 game challenge, and Lanterns was on there. And after playing that one 10 more times, I was just like, it's so solid. After 10 game plays, there was 10 games we played 10 times, and there were a lot of games that after 10 times playing it, I was like, nope, I'm good for a while. And Lanterns was not one where it's I didn't feel like I was done with it. I felt like there was still a lot I could do with it. I wouldn't say it's the most replayable game, but one, I haven't learned the expansion for it, so I think that's one thing. So there is an expansion out there if you do get tired of it, but it's just so unique in how you place the tiles and the rewards. I think that's probably a big thing, is the rewarding nature of it, I guess. But you place your tiles right and you place it optimally, and you get multiple cards instead of just the basic 1 or 2 that you would have gotten, and all of that. And it's for my brain, this is a game where I can think a couple moves in advance and kind of plan like, okay, here's what I can get with my tiles. Here's what I can convert them into for points, and here's how this works and that works. And it's really pretty. It's so colorful, and I feel like it's a good little game in a little box, and I would teach it to anybody, starting out their board game journey, because it really just is I think that great in my personal opinion. Professional opinion. Are we professional board gamers?
I'd say so.
But it's not
That's
heavy.
just my opinion.
It's not heavy by any means, so I can certainly see why there might, but it's shocking to me that it's not rated higher, because I certainly think it's like a King Domino level, maybe a little next step, but I feel like it's just approachable and it's good to play with replayability, and multiple players doesn't hurt it, and it just has a lot of good things about it. So I'm just surprised that it's not more well respected. Yeah,
and that's, I don't hear about this one quite as much as some other games, which is a little surprising to me as well. I would say some of the possible drawbacks to it is it could feel samey, but much like you, I don't know what it was about this one, but and I'm just pretty much repeating exactly what you said there. When we did our 10 by 10, there were games that after 10 plays I was like, ugh, I don't know about this, but and I would say that this one was more like, even more than some of those, like this almost the same type of game that you're playing every time.
Yeah.
So it's surprising to me that this one did not get like the feel of, I don't really feel like playing Lanterns anymore.
I know, and like
I think it's because it's so short.
Right. I think we blew through a couple games in one game in 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can play this very quickly.
Yeah.
Which is another nice thing, and another thing, like you said, I think it deserves to be in the same conversation as King Domino and other games like that that are kind of on the beginner side or more family-friendly type games. And
the ones that get pushed out.
Plays amazingly well at 4 players, which some games just start to get long at 4 players. Yeah. This one doesn't suffer from that at all. But and I guess another thing could be it is a bit of an efficiency puzzle, and like, okay, you get to a point in the game where you have to turn in some sort of set each round. Otherwise, you're probably going to lose to someone that knows how to do it. The
first 2 rounds, you need to start.
Right. So if you don't know how to do that, or your brain just doesn't work that way, then I could see this one being a little more of like, just don't enjoy it. But for me, it's a great puzzle. Yeah, and it's kind of like space-based in a way where,
everybody gets to roll their die, or everybody takes the number on the die if they have it, kind of a thing. And in this one too, like with the tile placement, you always are getting a card on
everyone's turn. So you're always invested.
Supposing that there's some card in the supply.
And that's even that's the better part, because then you're waiting for those. You're like, okay, well, I can trade these cards in no matter what the color is, and then all of a sudden they point aside towards you where you get nothing. Oh, that's just the worst.
I love it. I think we just have so much fun playing this game, and like we've already said, the replayability for us didn't suffer. But we also aren't playing it like every week or anything like that, but we did play it 10 times in 1 year, and some of those plays were fairly close together. So, I don't know. I just feel like it stood up. I feel like not a lot of games for me stand up to that.
No, yeah, and that's why I think this one's a great one for a video like this, and I hope it helps more people go and at least look at the game, give it a chance, maybe.
If you've heard of Lanterns, we'd love to know your thoughts on it down in the comments below.
And maybe
if we're right. Otherwise, if we're wrong, let us know what you don't like.
Right. If we are wrong, maybe there's
I wouldn't say we're wrong,
but
if you disagree, I'm not willing to concede I'm wrong about this.
Right. But maybe we are wrong, and they just have to let us know why Lanterns deserves to be where it is.
I'll never move it to 845 million or whatever it was. It's terrible.
To be fair, there's like tens of thousands of games.
I know.
So being even in the top 1,000 is pretty good.
That's true.
But
perspective, I guess. But then you've got weird games in like the top 100, and
I'm
like, okay,
weird games.
Okay, like this should be up there. Twilight, Imperium. Who plays this?
People that feel very strongly that it deserves to be in the top 100.
Clearly.
I think we'll probably do some videos on this one. I don't think we have any, and this would be a good one to do a playthrough on, I think. So
right.
Probably a full review on it. See if you give it the old perfect 10.
Ooh, spicy.
So if we do have that, we'll put the link to those videos below as well.
Yeah, I feel like we shot stuff for this, but it's been a long time now.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like one we would have because we really enjoy it. So
we're getting old.
We'll have to do that. But otherwise, we hope to see you on those videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.